Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our regular meeting of the Quincy School Committee on Wednesday, May 6th. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting. This public meeting may be transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. Superintendent, could you please call the roll?
Mr. Vergoli. Present. Mrs. Cahill. Present. Ms. Campbell. Present. Mrs. Hubley.
Present.
Mr. Leong. Present. Mrs. Perdios. Present. Mayor Koch.
Present.
And Marco Mano. Present. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to have a motion. Ms. Campbell?
A motion to move the student recognition out of order?
Second.
Thank you.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, I'm very sorry. Before that, will please rise to the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. Superintendent?
There are no memoriams tonight, but if you could keep our men and women overseas and here in the United States in our military service in your thoughts and prayers during this time. Thank you.
Thank you. And as we were saying, we had a motion and we had a second to have the National Honor Society taken out of order. If all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. You can proceed. Superintendent.
Thank you. Good evening again, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. It is my honor tonight to recognize and celebrate the outstanding achievements of our high school students who have been admitted into the National Honor Society, an amazing accomplishment. This moment marks a significant milestone in the academic journey of these remarkable individuals, and it is only fitting that we come together to honor their dedication, perseverance, and commitment to excellence. Today, we acknowledge not just the academic talent of these students, but also their unwavering determination to excel in all aspects of their high school experience. Each one of them has demonstrated exceptional qualities that have earned them a place among the best and brightest in our school community. Whether it be through their academic achievements, leadership endeavors, community service initiatives, athletic or artistic talents, these students have consistently demonstrated a commitment to excellence that sets them apart. As we celebrate the accomplishments of our National Honor Society members, it is important to recognize the immense support system that has guided them along the way. To the dedicated teachers and mentors who have served as beacons of inspiration and encouragement, thank you for your unwavering commitment to nurturing the talents and passions of our students. To the families and loved ones who have stood by these students through every challenge and triumph, thank you for your endless support, love, and encouragement. To our students, National Honor Society is not just a recognition of past achievements, but also a testament to the potential and promise that you hold for the future. As you embark on this new chapter of your academic journey, we challenge you to continue striving for excellence, to embrace opportunities for growth and learning, and to never lose sight of the values that have guided you thus far. With great honor comes great responsibility. Lead with integrity, serve with compassion, and inspire those around you to reach for the stars. Congratulations. How about a round of applause for our students? At this time, I do obviously want to recognize all of the staff at North Quincy High School and Quincy High School, Principal Keith Ford from Quincy High School, as well as our, yes. Oh, Mr. Gilbert, thank you. Sorry, I did not see you there. Mr. Gilbert, welcome. Thank you for supporting our students tonight. I also want to recognize our North Quincy High School educators who are supporting our students today. From North Quincy High School is Edward Merrigan, and from Quincy High School is Sarah Levine. At this time, if I could have Sarah Levine from Quincy High to come to the podium to recognize your students at Quincy High School. And as you read the names of the students, if the students could come up to the dais and shake the hands of all of the school committee, and just wait to the right so that we can take a photo at the end. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you. My name is Sarah Levine, and I am the advisor of the National Honor Society at Quincy High School. Thank you for inviting us here tonight to recognize the incredible achievements of our 48 graduating members. I am honored to present to you our NHS students this evening. As I call your names, you can rise and shake the hands. Barza, Jake Bassan, Ramona Bensel, Amy Bernard, Conrad Brown, Jacob Chan, Josie Chan, Emily Chen, Patrick Clifford, Ali Demopoulos, Tracy Deng, Isabel Egan, Aviana Garcia Pizarro, Edward Giza, Leah Gomes, Eliza Henry, Mayana Johnson, May Ju, Shayla Castrati, Vincent Lee, Alexander Liu, Nicholas Mangino, Taylor Mann, Jake McKenzie, Malcolm McMurrow, Kathy May, Dylan Mercado, Lauren Murphy, Nathan Nguyen, Priya Parasar, Priya Patel, Rachel Pavidis, Cass Perdios, Ava Pham, Lulu Prono, Solana Selinger Batista, Lucas Snow, Audrey Talent, Teddy Tai, Soraya Tiha Wong, Maya Tittle, Natalie Tom, Stephanie Tran, Theo Tran, Ethan Wick Ramaratne, Paige Zaski, Tiffany Zhang, and Yu Hong Zhang. Thank you again.
How to round it. Get this, come on.
They're not going to see us anyway.
I know, save yourself.
It'd be on top of our heads.
Congratulations, Quincy High School. Fantastic job. Now I would like to ask North Quincy High School educator Edward Merrigan to come to the podium to read the names of the North Quincy High School students again. We'll follow the same process, okay?
Thank you to the school committees for our school committee members for having us. North has 57 graduating seniors, so same thing. Stand up. Emmett Allen, Thea Banzak, Brooke Blayhut, Kitty Chen, Johnny Chen, Lily Chen, Michelle Chen, Mika Chen, Tammy Chen, Tracy Chen, Vincent Chen, Willa Chen, Elmarie Chung, Elizabeth Evans, Rita Fatima, Jacqueline Ferrara, Nicholas Francis, Christina Guan, Elizabeth Hong, Terry Hua, Cece Huang, Fiona Huai, Anna Kwong, Andrew Lee, Esther Lee, Anna Lee, Belle Lee, Emily Lim, Angelina Lin, Ethan Liu, Baying Ma, Marco Mano, Colin McCarthy, Maeve Murray, Livia Ng, Justin Nguyen, Alvin Nicola, Kevin Nodi, Markel Nodi, Caroline Pham, Amelia Slahus, Jenny Tian, Owen Schran, Ethan Wong, Nicole Wong, Helga Jalari, Kyle Zhi, Ethan Zhu, Ryan Zhang, Justin Zhao, Ella Zhang, Jai Jun Zhang, Sophia Zhang, Monica Zhou, Jonathan Zhu, Nikki Zhu, and Julia Zinda. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to congratulate them one more time. We have the biliteracy one next. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Yeah. Congratulations, North Quincy High School students. How about a round of applause for all of our students? Congratulations. And the honors continue tonight. It is again my honor to recognize and celebrate with you a momentous occasion in the academic journey of our high school students, the attainment of the seal of biliteracy. Today we come together to recognize and applaud the exceptional dedication, perseverance, and linguistic talents demonstrated by those outstanding individuals. The attainment of the seal of biliteracy is a testament to the linguistic proficiency and cultural understanding that these students have cultivated throughout their high school years. By mastering not just one, but two languages, they have not only expanded their academic horizons, but also enriched their personal and cultural experiences. Whether it be through the study of Albanian, Bengali, Farsi, French, Hindi, Italian, Korean, Lithuanian, Mandarin, Portuguese, Sinhala, Spanish, Tagalog, Vietnamese, or any other language, These students have embraced the challenge of becoming proficient in languages beyond their native tongue, and in doing so have opened the doors to endless opportunities, both at home and abroad. As we celebrate the achievements of our Seal of Biliteracy recipients, it is important to acknowledge the invaluable support system that has played a pivotal role in their success. To the dedicated language teachers and mentors who have guided and inspired these students along their journey, thank you for your unwavering commitment to fostering a love of language and learning and cultural appreciation. To the families and loved ones who have stood by these students through every step of their linguistic odyssey, thank you for your unwavering support, encouragement, and belief in their abilities. The attainment of the Seal of Biliteracy is not just a recognition of linguistic proficiency, but also a celebration of diversity, inclusion, and global citizenship. In a world that is increasingly interconnected and interdependent, the ability to communicate across languages and cultures has never been more important. As recipients of the Seal of Biliteracy, these students are not just bilingual, they are bridges between cultures, ambassadors of understanding, and advocates for unity in diversity. In conclusion, your achievements are a testament to your hard work, dedication, and unwavering commitment to excellence. As you continue on your academic journey, may you continue to embrace the beauty of language, the richness of culture, and the power of communication to make a positive impact in the world around you. Congratulations once again, and may your linguistic journey be filled with endless possibilities and boundless opportunities. Thank you all. Welcome to the podium EL Director Heather Wojcik to continue with the recognition of our students.
Thank you, Superintendent. It is also my pleasure to recognize this extraordinary group of students who represent the 4th graduating class from Quincy Public Schools to participate in this prestigious program. In these 4 years, we have recognized 199 students who have earned the Seal of Biliteracy. This seal they have earned actually with this class 14 languages noted for this particular class. And for the first time, we are proud to recognize these 4 languages, Bengali, Farsi, Hindi, and Sinhala, bringing the total number of languages recognized in Quincy Public Schools to 23. These students have shown outstanding dedication to their language studies and in many cases celebrate and honor their heritage languages. So to the families gathered here today, thank you. Your support, encouragement, and commitment to learning and maintaining language have played a vital role in your children's success. And to all our recipients, congratulations on this well-earned accomplishment. You have embraced the power of language to connect, to understand, and to bridge cultures. We are so proud of you, and now it is time to formally recognize our recipients. I would like to invite North Quincy High School World Language Department Head, Alicia Timpau-Najeri, to the podium. She will read each student's name, and a group photo will be taken at the end to commemorate this special event.
I apologize.
Thank you so much.
My name is Alicia Timpau-Najeri. I'm the World Language Department Chair over at North Quincy High School, and I'm so proud to say that we have 41 students who are seniors that are graduating who have received the seal, of which 22 are present here. Sorry, 39, of which 22 are present here. When I call your name, please come up, receive your certificate, and then shake the hands, and again, stand over here as we've been doing so far. Fiona Chen. Kitty Chen. Yuki Chen.
Congratulations.
El Maria Chung. Kelly Hu. Terry Hua. Esther Lee. Ethan Liu. Nikki Liu. Bai Ying Ma. Marco Mano. Alvin Nicola. Kevin Noti. Markel Noti. Emilia Slezas. Hamed Vahidi. Mioku Zeng. Jerry Zhang. Jiajun Zheng. And Julia Zinda.
Okay. Next, I would like to invite the Quincy High School World Language Department Head Amanda Rosenhagen to the podium, as she will read the students' names.
Good evening. My name is Amanda Rosenhagen, and I just want to say it is an honor and a privilege to be here tonight with this amazing group of seniors who I've had the privilege to get to know. So, the first we have Ramona Bensel. Ray Dien. Emanuela Diebold. Aviana Garcia. Leia Gomes. Lucas Gomes. Sheila Castrati. Dylan Mercado. Priya Parasar. Laura Paz. Amy Ruiz. Solana Selinger Batista. Owen Veith. And Ethan Wick Ramaratne. Congratulations, we are so proud of you. Oh, we have one more, Shayed Zaman. Congratulations.
All right. All right. At this time, we're just going to take a brief recess so that we can let everyone go home and get their homework started.
Congratulations again.
Congratulations. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, we're going to go back into session now. Superintendent, you finish up?
At this time, I just want to recognize Quincy High School Student Representative Seisha Nijawan. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you. All set.
Okay, thank you. All right. Next on the agenda is open forum, an opportunity for community input regarding the Quincy Public Schools community and its context as defined as a resident of the city of Quincy, a non-resident parent of a student who attends the Quincy Public Schools, or a non-resident employee of the Quincy Public Schools. After giving his or her name and address, each speaker may make a presentation of no more than 3 minutes to the school committee. An individual may not exchange their time or yield to others. Residents or non-community persons may submit written statements of up to 300 words to the school committee at qscopenforum@quincypublicschools.com by 4 o'clock of the day prior to the posted school committee regular meeting. Written statements will be posted to the school committee section of the Quincy Public Schools website by noon on the day of the posted school committee regular meeting. Laura, did we have meetings?
Yes, there were 16.
Oops, sorry, you're not on.
Yes, there were 16 letters posted,
Okay.
and they're under the May 6th. They follow the meeting agenda on the website.
Great, thank you very much. And with that, I will open forum. Do we have someone for open forum? Please come right up.
Hi there. My name is Maggie McKee. I live at 117 Rawson Road. I'm here to urge you to vote to make Lunar New Year the most important holiday of the year in many Asian cultures, an official school holiday. When this issue first came up a handful of years ago, I could understand the slippery slope argument against it, that adding one cultural or religious group's holiday could lead to adding every group's holiday, and that in turn could complicate union contract negotiations and summer vacation schedules. But soon I came to feel the case for Lunar New Year was stronger. For one thing, the school calendar already includes a holiday celebrated by just one subset of residents, Good Friday. That Christian holy day is not recognized by the state or federal governments, nor is it written into teachers' contracts. if this committee wishes to avoid slippery, equitable slopes, it needs to remove Good Friday from the school calendar. The fact that it hasn't yet, while simultaneously refusing to include a cultural holiday that is celebrated by an estimated 40% of the student body, feels like a slap in the face to the Asian community. You only have to look at the results of the last city election to see that representation matters, that officially recognizing Lunar New Year matters, not just to Asians, but to a majority of voters. Finally, holding class when a large percentage of the student body stays home is inefficient and ineffective from a learning standpoint, says Joshua Goodman, director of the Educational Policy Studies program at Boston University. He made that point in an NPR story this January about how snow days affect students. Quote, if you don't declare a snow day when there's a lot of snow out, what tends to happen is you still get a lot of people absent from school, he said. It turns out that's actually harder to deal with in terms of learning and more disruptive in the long run than just saying, everyone's out today. He continued, it's very hard for a teacher to teach half of the students in a room and catch the absent kids up the next day. It just wastes everyone's time. So it's better to just coordinate and all agree to go sledding together and come back for learning tomorrow. Let's not waste any more time. Please show our community that you respect our voices and votes and make Lunar New Year an official school holiday.
Chair Hubley, Mayor Koch, members of the school committee. My name is Russ Wilcox, 1205 Hancock Street, Quincy, Massachusetts. Last week, the Supreme Court gutted the Voting Rights Act. Justice Alito called it merely an update. Millions of Americans were told what happened to them doesn't count because no one said it out loud. That they're still seen, but they no longer count. People in Massachusetts say it's different. That Massachusetts fights, and we have a history of that. Families in this room believed that. They learned the process. They showed up year after year. They brought data. They brought their children. And every year, they heard the same excuse, but for a different reason. Subcommittee, legal opinion, threshold vote. They're told it's not what it looks like. In this room, the word was, it's not a lack of recognition. At the Supreme Court, the word was it was merely an update. Last Lunar New Year, half of North Quincy's high stayed home. The school ran anyways. 4 out of every 10 kids here celebrate Lunar New Year. And their families in this room asking for one thing, to be seen like everyone else. The calendar already makes room for some traditions. Yours doesn't include them. They're still here 3 years later, and they keep on showing up. Again, last week, the Supreme Court told the country that some people don't count. Tonight, one of the oldest cities in Massachusetts can show the country whether it recognizes those voices or silence them. Do us all a favor and put an H on the calendar.
Good evening, members of the Quincy School Committee. I'm David Jacobs. I live at 10 Charles Street here on Howe's Neck. I'm here tonight to urge you to support the majority of Quincy residents who have made it clear in no uncertain terms that they want Lunar New Year to be recognized as a holiday on the Quincy Public School calendar. I'm going to start with a quick story. A few years ago, while visiting my wife's extended family in Binghamton, New York, the conversation turned to what was happening in our home communities. My wife's cousin, who's a teacher in Liverpool, New York, mentioned that they would be observing Lunar New Year with a day off that year. I remember asking her, do you have a large Asian student population? She had told me that she had some students of Asian descent, but certainly it was not a majority. And that stuck with me, because at that very same time, right here, residents in Quincy were beginning to push for this change. And Quincy is a community where the holiday reflects a significant portion of our population. When I looked into it further, I learned that in 2023, New York State made Lunar New Year a state holiday. Now think about that. In New York State, roughly 10% of the residents in the entire state are of Asian descent. In New York City, that number is 19%. But here in Quincy, according to the 2020 census, approximately 31% of our residents are of Asian descent. And in our schools, that number is even higher, at about 40%. 40%. That is not a small group. That is a core part of our student body. It's the largest part. And this city has already recognized that. In 2024, the Quincy City Council passed an order recognizing Lunar New Year and calling for the closures of schools in observation of the holiday. In 2025, the council reaffirmed that position and again called for action after this body declined to move forward. So tonight, again, this is not new, and this is not unsupported. It's backed by data, and it's backed by precedent, and most importantly, it's backed by the people of Quincy. At its core, this is about respect. It's about recognizing the significant portion of our students and families should not have to choose between being in school and being with their families on the most important holiday of the year. Allowing an excused absence is not a solution. It simply shifts the burden onto families. True recognition means closing the schools just as we do at other holidays we value as a community. You have an opportunity to align the school calendar with the community it serves. I understand there are concerns about scheduling and instructional time and how it fits into an already full calendar, but other districts, even entire states, have found ways to make this work, and I know Quincy can too. At the end of the day, this is not a question of whether it's possible, it's a question of whether it's a priority, and I respectfully urge that you make it one. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, members of the school committee, Mr. Mayor. My name is Kim Horrigan, and I live at 139 West Quantum Street. I'm here tonight not only as a parent of 3 children in our school system, but also as someone that once sat in the same classrooms at Montclair, Atlantic, and North. Growing up, I learned early on that fitting in often means just being like the rest of them, look like them, talk like them, just wanting to feel the need to be accepted. I quieted my culture, internalizing the belief that success required assimilation rather than being authentic to myself and those around me. Subtle and overt racism reinforced that message. Today, as a parent, I see echoes of that same struggle. Our district serves a student population that is roughly 40% Asian, yet representation, understanding, and cultural affirmation should not reflect that reality. When students rarely see themselves reflected in curriculum, leadership, or decision-making spaces, the unspoken message is clear. You are present, but you are not central. Representation matters, cultural understanding matters, and listening to these families matters deeply. My hope is simple, that our children will not feel the need to reshape themselves just to fit in, but instead be welcome as they are, proud of their heritage, confident in their identity, and assured that they belong. So that's the single holiday that truly matters to the Asian community can be observed, allowing families to celebrate and embrace their culture and tradition. In the last meeting, we heard some very emotional plea to the same committee. I have also spoken to other families who felt deeply disrespected, going on nearly 5 years advocating for Lunar New Year. Please know that we are here to stay, and we will continue to line these halls and hit the polls until our voices are heard. My family does not need an excuse to celebrate my holiday. We need a sense of belonging in this wonderful city of Quincy, where I always called home. Thank you for listening.
Good evening, members of the school committee. My name is Yao Zhen, and I live at 149 South Walnut Street in Quincy. I'm an English language teacher in Quincy Public Schools, and I've been living in Quincy for 4 years. I'm here to share why making Lunar New Year a school holiday is important to me and to many families in our community. I'm originally from China, and I've been living in the United States for 7 years. Every year, when Lunar New Year comes, I feel a deep sense of homesickness. Back home is a time when the whole family gathers, sharing meals, honoring traditions, and welcoming a new year. But here, my family is far away. The only way I can celebrate with them is through a video call. Watching from a screen while they sit together at the table is meaningful, but it's not the same. Now, as a new mother to a 5-month-old baby, and actually my baby's here today to support this. This feeling has become even stronger. I think about the traditions I grew up with and how important it is for me to pass them on to my child. I want my child to feel connected to their roots, to understand where they come from, and to experience the joy of this celebration, not just hear about it. As a teacher, I also see how much it matters for students to feel that their culture is recognized and respected. When school is in session on Lunar New Year, many students have to choose between being present in class or being present with their families. That's a difficult choice and one that can make them feel unseen. Recognizing Lunar New Year as a school holiday is not just about a day off. It's about belonging. It's about telling students and family, we see you. Your traditions matter. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Hi, my name is Sharon Mann. I'm from 95 Montclair Ave. Sorry about my voice. My students are actually did attend Quincy Public School, and I myself am a graduate of Parker School, Atlantic Middle School, and North Quincy High. So I'm back here to speak on behalf of the community and not just myself, because I have a lot of friends and family that are here actually. My cousins aren't here right now because they're watching the little ones, but they attend Montclair School. Some of them attend North. I've got a couple at Atlantic. So they're across Quincy. I'm also speaking on behalf of my neighbors and a friend that I met new here today. And what Lunar New Year means to us, it's like, and it's Lunar New Year. It's not just Chinese New Year, so it does not just pertain to the Chinese community, because Vietnamese celebrate, Japanese, Korean, Malaysian, Singaporeans, they all celebrate Lunar New Year. And the problem is I would love to see it on the QPS calendar, because on that day, each family's a little bit different, but on that day, the way I celebrate with my kids and my family is we take that day off. I have it off every year from work, and work gives it to me, knowing that it's a huge holiday for us. It's actually the #1 holiday for us. So in the morning, we eat vegetarian. So the children, not only is their diet change, lunch is vegetarian, dinner is vegetarian. So they will stay home, have this day off, they will go to temple, they will dress in traditional garb, they will pay their respects to their elders, and of course get their lucky red envelope, full of money. So, but that is what we do on that day specifically, and we go on through the week normally, but that one day is the one day we take time off to have a huge family event. My sister-in-laws take off, my husband's takes off for that day, and to get him to take a day off, it's crazy, because he'll be on the computer if we're in Vietnam, to try to work over here. So, but it's a huge holiday for us, and I just want to let you guys understand, because not the majority, but there's a large majority of Asian population in Quincy nowadays, and I could see back in my time, 1989, when I first came here, it was like 5% Asian. So I understand during that time that wouldn't be a holiday to be celebrated. But currently, with the times, it's now 2026, where there's like 40-something% Asian, and sometimes I think more, but you just see 40-something% in our schools, that it would be great to recognize this holiday so that we can, rest and not stress too hard about taking a day off from school. Because academia is huge in the Asian family. So for us to think it's like, oh,
10
it's Chinese
seconds.
New Year, but we have to go to school, but we have to celebrate Chinese New Year. So in order for us to balance that, it would be nice if we didn't have to get an absenteeism and then just be able to celebrate our holiday. Thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Amy Sorensen Alawad. I live at 3 Root Street. I have 2 children in Quincy Public Schools. I am here today in my role as co-president of the Quincy Public Schools Citywide Parent-Teacher Organization, representing our leadership team and executive board. Citywide PTO's mission is to advocate for the achievement and delivery of high-quality, equitable education for every student in QPS. Our purpose is to represent the collective voice of parents and guardians across the city and bring the parent-guardian perspective to QPS administration and members of the school committee. Tonight, I also speak on behalf of the many QPS families who are in support of Lunar New Year being recognized as an official holiday on the school calendar. As citywide PTO leaders, we have listened closely to families across our district. We have considered the facts and data surrounding this issue for the past 5 years. But beyond the numbers are the students, parents, grandparents, and caregivers who make up Quincy Public Schools' vibrant Asian community, many of whom are here tonight. They are the reason we are here. Their voices, experiences, and traditions are why Lunar New Year matters and why we believe it deserves recognition as an observed school holiday. As representatives of families across QPS, citywide PTO's role is to listen to our community and advocate for equitable treatment and inclusion within our schools. We paid attention when Quincy residents voted this past November and elected 2 new school committee members that support Lunar New Year as an official school holiday. Members of the school committee, this is about being responsive to the requests and needs of the constituents you were elected to serve, the families who are the current and future students and staff in our school system. This is an opportunity for you to vote for what our school community clearly and overwhelmingly wants. When has there ever been another issue that you received so many letters in favor of and that brings so many members of the community out year after year? Now you can show us all that you hear us and you recognize and value Quincy's Asian community as an essential part of our city by leading with equity and adding Lunar New Year to the calendar. Quincy has changed and grown into one of the most diverse communities in Massachusetts, with 40% of the population identifying as Asian. Our school committee and our school calendar should reflect the students and families who make up our district today and will into the future. Thank you on behalf of the citywide PTO.
The next speakers will speak in Cantonese and Mandarin, and I'll be interpreting.
你好，我叫劉玉愛，我住喺昆士1000號。
Hi everyone, my name is Ui Liu, and I live at 1000 Southern Artery.
我嚟咗美國超過20年啦，我最喜歡都係住喺昆士嗰度，因為咧呢度嘅社區有多元嘅包容我哋，我來自不同族類嘅人咧，也感到好幸運啊！好幸福啦！又有好多華人住喺嗰度，加上呢度嘅交通咧又便利，出入又方便，讓我感到親切又舒服。
I have lived in the United States for more than 20 years, and Quincy is my favorite place to call home. This community is diverse, it's welcoming, with people from many different backgrounds, including a large Chinese community. With its convenience to public transit and a strong sense of community, Quincy has always felt both familiar and comfortable to me.
昆士咧1/5嘅人口咧都係亞裔人，農曆新年咧對我哋華人同埋旗下族裔族嘅人咧都有重大嘅意義嘅。對我們嚟講，大年初一咧即係我哋開年嘅好日子，係家人開開心心前在。迎接新嘅一年嘅重要時刻，每一年咧喺嗰一日，我都同我啲仔啊、孫啊，着上新嘅衣服、新嘅鞋去拜年、去派利是，幾咁高興啊！同埋咧到佛堂嗰度求新嘅年嘅身心健康，同埋心想事成。
1/5 of Quincy's community is Asian. And Lunar New Year holds deep meaning, not only for Chinese families, but for many Asian communities. For us, the first day of Lunar New Year marks a new beginning, a time for family reunions, for welcoming the year ahead together. Every year on this day, I celebrate with my son and grandchildren, who are also students at Quincy Public Schools. And we wear new clothes, exchange New Year greetings, and new red envelopes. And we visit the temple to pray for good health and happiness. These traditions are not just rituals, they're how we pass down our values, our history, and our identity.
我個仔嘅公司咧，每年農曆新年嗰一日都要放假嘅。老闆呢讓員工能與家人共度呢個美好嘅大日子，但如果新年那一日呢唔係週末嘅話呢，我啲孫仔啊佢哋要返學，佢孫仔們呢就冇法參與我哋前所有嘅新年喜慶活動啦。這對我哋嚟講呢，又係失去咗傳承世代嘅意義。
My son's workplace recognizes the importance of this holiday and gives employees a day off so they can celebrate with their families. But when Lunar New Year falls on a weekday, my grandchildren still have school. That means they cannot fully participate in our family traditions and celebrations. Something meaningful feels lost.
我個大孫呢，而家住喺昆士學校讀11年級啦。佢喺中國出生長大，從小呢就經歷過我哋家庭慶祝農曆新年嘅種種嘅習俗。
Coming up on time.
Can we have a little bit more time just for interpretation? We'll be wrapping up. Thank you.
Rules are 3 minutes, so we have to try to stick to the same rules.
Okay.
做什麼？
繼續。
哦，佢告訴我，佢又非常懷念這些中國嘅傳統。雖然我哋喺美國冇辦法像中國一樣慶祝15日嘅咁長嘅假期，但佢都希望學校每年呢能夠初一嗰日放一日假，讓佢可以同家人一起慶祝呢個重要嘅日子，把我哋嘅文化傳承下去。
My oldest grandson is now in 11th grade in Quincy Public Schools. He was born and raised in China, where he experienced the full richness of Lunar New Year growing up. He often tells me how much he misses these traditions. While we understand that we cannot celebrate the full 15 days here as we did in China, he hopes that at least one day each year could be recognized so that he could be with his family and continue our cultural traditions.
我希望農曆新年定為學校假期可以快啲通過，讓我喺子孫嘅們嘅成長過程中有機會一起慶祝呢個意義深重嘅節日，也讓我哋明白，無論我哋身在何方，我哋的文化永遠值得珍惜。請各位委員們支持我哋，支持嗰個法案，多謝。
I hope that recognizing Lunar New Year as a school holiday can move forward soon. It would give families like mine the opportunity to celebrate and ensure that our children grow up understanding that no matter where they are, their culture is something to cherish forever. I respectfully ask the committee to support this proposal. Thank you.
大家晚上好，我叫陈周丽，我住在昆西20号。
Good evening, everyone. My name is Zhao Li Chen, and I live at 20 Elm Avenue.
我很高兴看到今天有学生、家长和昆市居民一起来支持，将农历新年定为学校假期。
I feel encouraged to see so many students here, parents, Quincy residents coming together today to support making Lunar New Year a school holiday. Your presence here shows that our community cares about culture, family, and inclusion, and that means a lot.
看到大家关心我们的传统文化，我感到十分感动。
I'm very touched by seeing everyone's support here.
在这上一次的会议，我分享了我的经历。我来美国已经8年了，刚来的时候人生路不熟， 幸好住在昆士，靠近华人社区，身边有同声同气的邻居和朋友。
At the last meeting, I shared a little bit about my story. I've come to the United States for 8 years, and when I first came here, I wasn't very familiar with the community here. But thankfully, I landed in Quincy and settled here, close to other Asian communities and Chinese community.
我才慢慢找到归属感。但即使这样，我们每天忙于生活和工作，很多时候都没办法和家人在一起庆祝重要的传统中国节日。
你继续吧。
农历新年对我们来说，不只是一个假期，而是一个让家人团聚、传承中国文化的重要时刻。
And gradually, I was able to find a sense of belonging. But even so, in many families, we're busy with work and daily responsibilities, and too often we miss the opportunities to celebrate important holidays, traditions together. And Lunar New Year is not just another day on the calendar. It is a time for family reunion, honoring our ancestors, passing down our traditions to the next generation. We gather to make dumplings, share meals, and celebrate who we are.
我有3个孙子都在昆西公共学校读书，每逢农历新年，我都希望能和他们一起庆祝，一起包饺子，做团年饭，拜祖先，感受传统节日的气氛。可惜，现在昆西市的学校都要求农历新年当天孩子们要上学，令使我们的心愿难以实现。
I have 3 grandchildren in Quincy Public Schools, and every year I hope to celebrate Lunar New Year with them, to teach them about our traditions, creating lasting memories together. But because school is in session that day, the opportunity is taken away.
如果学校能将农历新年定为公共假期，孩子们才能跟家人一起庆祝，更会感受到自己的文化被认同和尊重。我不希望有一天，我们的下一代因为缺少这些经历，而渐渐忘记了我们的中国文化和传统的根。
Recognizing Lunar New Year as a holiday is more than just a day off. It is about inclusion and ensuring that children feel seen and valued for who they are. If we do not create space for these traditions, we risk losing them. I don't want a future where our children and grandchildren grow up disconnected from their heritage because they never had the chance to experience it.
昆西有这么多环法家庭，我希望各位委员会能回应我们社区多年来的心声，采取行动支持这个法案。谢谢大家。
Quincy is home to many Chinese and Asian families. For years, our community has voiced its support for this change. Please support making Lunar New Year as a public school holiday. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Heather Doney, and I live at 912 Southern Artery. And I had something prepared to say tonight, but it's feeling like a personal sort of evening. My family is Cajun. We're from South Louisiana. I'm the only Cajun I know up here. The culture is lost. All I know is the food. And my children are half Vietnamese, and I don't want to see that for them. I don't want to see that for any children here in Quincy or anywhere. And I think recognizing holidays is a very important part of what we can do. I'd sent a letter the other day asking a question of this body I said I'm one of the QPS parents who's been advocating and looking forward to Lunar New Year becoming a public school holiday, especially considering that 40% of the local student body is Asian, and it's such an important cultural holiday, and that I had heard news that it's expected not to pass, with some sort of a rule around a 2/3 vote passed last year being the sticking point. I said I looked for it on the website, but I couldn't find anything with content like that I could see, and I didn't see anything on a 2025 school committee agenda containing anything on the matter. I did see that the school committee operates using Robert's Rules of Order, and I know that Robert's Rules of Order reserves 2/3 votes for serious things such as amending constitutions, impeaching officials, closing debate, expelling members, things like that. Routine business is conducted using a simple majority. I would think that this falls under the category of routine business, and I do not understand how a 2/3 vote could be required in this circumstance. And I asked for an explanation to be shown where the rules on this applied. I got a very nice email back from Superintendent Mulvey, who said school committee legal counsel is looking into the matter. And I respect that he's an appointed official who needs to follow the process asked of him. But I do believe that if the mayor wants this to happen tonight, or if he had wanted it earlier, he would have asked everyone to vote accordingly and would have pulled the clout that he has in this situation. I also believe that it is supposed to be Robert's Rules of Order that governs this committee, not Robert's Rules of Chaos. And I believe we can stop this moving of the goalposts and the forced ambiguity that we are seeing and the pain that we are causing to our Asian community with the level of disrespect that is occurring. Quincy's Asian community has been a good part of the city. I married into it. That's what I learned first, was Quincy's Asian community. And I would hate to see the games that are being played. This never needed to be some big standoff. It could always have been a time of celebration, joyous opportunity for all of us, everyone. You don't have to be Asian to care about Lunar New Year, to enjoy Lunar New Year, to do cool things for Lunar New Year. It's meant to be a time of good company and red envelopes and
10 seconds.
Excellent. Okay. It still could be for all of us. Thank you.
Good evening. My name's Deborah Riley. I live at 9 Landgrain Street. I'm also the Ward 6 City Councilor. And I'm here tonight to express my support for my constituents in Ward 6 for the Lunar New Year recognition on the school calendar. When I was campaigning, it was an issue that people asked me directly about where I stood on this matter. And I told them that I would support moving this to a permanent holiday. And I think it's time. It is time. Clearly, the passion and the emotion that you hear here tonight, I don't know how you could vote differently. I really do not. So I hope you do the right thing. I hope you recognize that this is important to a large number of our community members and that we can see this on the calendar next year. Thank you.
Good evening, school committee members and Mayor Koch. My name is Virginia Ryan. I reside at 89 Ulrich Road in Quincy. I am a resident. I'm also a Ward 4 City Councilor, but I am here as a resident. I am here tonight in support of making Lunar New Year a school holiday. Since the 1990s, and actually before that, the Asian community has settled in Quincy and become a vital part of Quincy, with the population totaling 40%. That's a lot of people. A lot of folks that celebrate the Lunar New Year. This holiday is about celebrating with family, honoring their family's lineage. Sometimes they will visit for 2 weeks. I strongly encourage the school committee to adopt this holiday. It is only one holiday, not 12.
Hello, my name is Alexis Veith. I live at 815 Southern Artery. I am the mother of 2 Quincy High students, a freshman and a senior who is recognized here tonight. But I would have been here anyway to address an issue that directly impacts our Quincy school community. When you vote on the school calendar, you have the opportunity to correct an issue that has been under discussion for several years now, because some of you have chosen to double down on the wrong side of this issue again and again. And I am, of course, talking about Lunar New Year and the obstinacy of some in refusing to acknowledge this as a school holiday.
I remind you that this committee is an elected body, and your job is to represent your constituents and the best interests of Quincy's school community, 40% of whom are Asian and celebrate Lunar New Year. So I can't understand why some of you still choose to dig in on denying families the ability to celebrate their most important holiday together. It's clearly not politically expedient for those of you who are up for re-election next year. Your newest colleagues were the top vote getters in the last election and were extremely vocal in their support of Lunar New Year. It's not in the best interest of students who have to either miss school or sit in half-empty classrooms watching movies all day. It's not in the best interest of our teachers who have to adjust their lesson plans to account for the high number of absences or secure a substitute so they can celebrate with their families. And some of you have tried to dress up your refusal as an issue of logistics or equality, saying that acknowledging a cultural holiday with a date that changes year to year is somehow an unprecedented act that would throw the calendar into chaos and serve only one cultural group within the city. But Good Friday has served for decades as proof of concept that it is logistically simple to accommodate a holiday when the timing changes year to year, and it too only is relevant to one specific cultural group. So it seems to me like there's no actual reason to vote against Lunar New Year that isn't rooted in blatant racism. I know some of you are going to attend the Multicultural Festival this Saturday and use it as a photo op on your campaign Facebook page, and then vote against Lunar New Year without a second thought. So let's be real. 3+ years into this conversation, a vote against Lunar New Year is a dog whistle vote to reassure the old Quincy you're still one of them, while you use our diverse community as props for the sake of plausible deniability. Some of you have been on the right side of this issue from the beginning, and I thank you for standing up for your neighbors and constituents. Some of you have an opportunity to correct course. Will you take it, or will you live down to our expectations again? Thank you.
Go right ahead.
That's going to be so hard to follow. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the school committee. My name is Susanna Liu. I live at 37 Wren Terrace. I am a lifelong resident of Quincy, having gone through the Quincy public school system, and a mother of 2 future Quincy public school students. I am here today as a mother asking you to really, really see my children, and also the many, many other children who is impacted by Lunar New Year. Lunar New Year is not just a date on the calendar, it's heritage and tradition. It's a time of renewed hope and setting new goals. It's the sound of my family gathered around the dinner table. It's the stories passed on from grandparents who have crossed oceans to really have their children and their children to stand in Quincy Public Schools system. It is the single most important celebration of the year for our family, and also for a very significant number of families right here in Quincy. Many other cities have already taken action to designating Lunar New Year as an official school holiday, so this would not be an unprecedented leap. It is not such a radical ask. We would simply be catching up to who the city already is. When a child walks into school the day after Lunar New Year and their celebration went unacknowledged, they learn a quiet lesson, that their family's joy doesn't count here. My daughters and many other children in this community deserve to grow up in a school system that sees them fully. And I believe that this committee has the heart and the responsibility to make that happen. So please vote yes to making Lunar New Year an official school holiday. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the school committee. My name is Virginia Lou Compton. I live at 39 Turning Mill Lane. I was born and raised here in Quincy. As an 80s baby, I've had the privilege of watching our community grow into the diverse city that it is today. As a child of immigrants, I grew up with my culture woven naturally into my daily life. My parents spoke our language at home, and traditions were simply part of how we lived. Celebrating Lunar New Year was never something we had to carve out time for. It was just part of who we were. But as a first-generation American-born Chinese parent, raising 2 young children who will also enter the Quincy school system, I've learned how much more effort it now takes to pass that culture on. Like many parents in this community, I struggle to find local resources that support language and cultural learning. In fact, I couldn't find programs like Story and Music Time or language immersion programs for my children, programs that already exist in our neighboring communities. And as a result, I've been volunteering my time for the past year to create a small but growing monthly music and story program for kids in our community at our local library. Because without intentional effort, our children risk growing up disconnected from the very traditions that shaped us. You've already heard from many families that Lunar New Year is one of the most important holidays in our year. A 2-week celebration of family, heritage, and belonging. Yet students are still expected to treat like any other school week, balancing their assignments and their attendance while missing meaningful time with their families. If you can imagine what it would feel like if students were only optionally allowed to stay home from school over Christmas while their peers continued to attend classes, while still being expected to keep up with assignments and regular schoolwork during one of the most important family holidays. That is what it was like for me growing up in Quincy, and that's what many students here still experience today. Some of what people have already said here today has brought me to tears because their experience resonates very deeply with me, both the desire to fit in, assimilate, and also to be seen. Making Lunar New Year an official school holiday would change this experience for many in our community. It would say clearly to students that your culture is seen, valued, and respected here. And just as importantly, it would give families the ability to fully celebrate together without compromise. As a city with a large and growing Asian community, I believe that Quincy has the opportunity to lead in recognizing the lived experiences of its students. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Good evening, members of the school committee. My name is Tyler Young. I live at 40 Huntley Road, and I'm a 5th grade student at Marymount Elementary School. Tonight, I want to talk about Lunar New Year. Today is May 6th. This is the day the Chinese Exclusion Act was signed in our country. That law treated Chinese people like they did not belong here. It made them feel like outsiders. When I learned about this, it made me sad, because sometimes, even today, I feel a little like an outsider too. I'm a Chinese Vietnamese American student. Lunar New Year is very important to me and my family. We spend time together, eat special food, and celebrate our culture. But on that day, I am not in school, I missed class, and it shows on my attendance record. So I have to choose, go to school and not celebrate, or celebrate and miss school. When I miss school, I worry about falling behind, and I worry about what I miss in class. But when I stay in school, I feel like I'm missing something important about my family and who I am. Sometimes I also feel different from my friends on that day, like I am not part of the same experience. I know that there are many Asian American students in Quincy, but still I can feel like our holiday is not fully seen. I don't think any student should have to choose between school and their culture. In conclusion, I hope one day students like me want to feel like outsiders because of their culture. Thank you for your time.
Go right ahead.
Hello, my name is Kayla Leong, and I live at 40 Huntley Road, Quincy, Massachusetts, and I am a 4th grade student at Marymount Elementary. And I believe that Lunar New Year should be a day off of Quincy Public Schools. First is because 40% of Quincy Public School students are Asian, and many of us celebrate Lunar New Year, including me and my brothers. Second, there are many small holidays off of school, such as Columbus Day, Labor Day, President's Day, Veterans Day, and Patriots Day, but not Lunar New Year, even though it's a big holiday for many people. Third, there are many religious, cultural holidays that have many beliefs that are off of school, such as Good Friday. And Lunar New Year is a cultural holiday with many beliefs as well, but Good Friday is off and Lunar New Year is not. So why must one be off and one not? And lastly, many students and teachers take off school for Lunar New Year, but if it were to be a day off of school, then we wouldn't have to worry about any missing assignments, homework, or tests. And to someone like me, missing things like that is a big deal. So imagine having to choose between celebrating one of the most important days of your culture and going to school. So I say, let's make Lunar New Year a day off of schools, and thank you for your time.
Stewart Row, 53 Woodbine Street, apartment 20. Good evening, school committee, the mayor, and particularly our two student leaders over here. There are many stakeholders impacted by tonight's decision. Students, teachers, staff, parents, unions, and I'm not here to pit them against each other. However, I hope we can agree that your most important stakeholders, this body, ultimately are the young people, the students of QPS. Otherwise, these institutions wouldn't exist. Lunar New Year being given the official H is an inevitability. It's not a matter of if, it's when. If it was an if, the movement and activism would have decreased over the years after the first no, but it has only increased. If this gets voted down tonight, the Asian community of Quincy and those of us who love the members of this community will be hurt, but will not be shaken. Forgive my generalizations, but the Asian members of our community are resilient. They are family and community oriented. They are proud of their culture and heritage. On Lunar New Year, they will continue to gather and celebrate with one another and members of all other cultures who choose to join in on the food, the laughter, and the special time with each other and members across other backgrounds in Quincy. Tonight is less about community and it's more about leadership. What example will you all set to our city's future leaders? You already know the stats and importance of this decision. If you are not willing to meet this community need, please say your no without using practical, policy, contractual, or how we've always done things reasons. This school committee helped guide the Quincy Public Schools through an unprecedented and life-altering period during the pandemic. When the need arose, this body made significant adjustments, moved quickly, and did things previously thought to be impossible just weeks before. Fortunately, this decision to designate Lunar New Year as an official holiday is far less difficult and disruptive to life in QPS, but it would have an outsized positive impact. Tonight is about the community, but like I said, it is about leadership, and good leaders are willing to adapt when the status quo isn't resulting in good outcomes. Great leaders put the needs of those they lead before their own, and the best leaders do all of the above at some personal cost to themselves, whether that be comfort, familiarity, security, money, safety, or power. Tonight, you have a decision to make. Will you be leaders who put your needs and preferences above those of the largest and most important stakeholder group under your power? Or will you model to the thousands of future QPS leaders responsive, culturally sensitive, and sacrificial leadership? Just moments ago, you looked in the eyes and shook the hands of 39 students who have gone above and beyond to
10
connect,
seconds.
to understand, and build bridges between cultures. I hope after tonight's vote that we can recognize all 7 of you in that number of bridge builders as well. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth Emmons. I'm a QPS teacher. I'm also a Quincy resident, and I live at 51 Marlborough Street, and I am the parent of a future QPS student. I wanted to start by talking about the Chinese Exclusion Act, but Tyler Renton stole my thunder. But this day, May 6, 1882, the United States banned immigration from China. This is a historic day. So I want you to consider that when you make your vote today on the school calendar and what that means. After the Chinese Exclusion Act was passed, a young girl named Mamie Tape tried to enroll in her neighborhood school in San Francisco. She was denied access to that school because she was Chinese or of Mongolian descent. When her mother tried to enroll her, she became furious, and eventually this was escalated to a Supreme Court case, Tape versus Hurley. After they won their case, they went back to the school to try to enroll. The school changed the rules and said that she wasn't vaccinated. Then they changed the rules again and said there weren't any more seats, it was full. You can keep changing the rules, but we all know why you vote the way you do, because you want to. It has nothing to do with rules, it has nothing to do with equity, it has to do with what you want to do. I'm angry because I take this personally. My family celebrates the Lunar New Year. I might not have the face of somebody who does, but I do. I celebrate with my husband and my daughter. And no one has ever asked me where I'm from, even though my grandmother immigrated here long after many of the Chinese immigrants who came here and the people who still get asked every single day, where are you from? What kind of Asian are you? This is an Asian American holiday. It matters, it is important, it is a family holiday, and everyone deserves the right to celebrate their holidays without worrying about whether or not they're going to ruin their perfect records and their academic records. Let's stop changing the rules to fit our agendas and acknowledge the people who have voted in this city and stop disenfranchising those voters.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, the school committee, and Chair Hughley. My name is Andrew Pham. I reside on 154 Sumner Street. And hearing Tyler Leung spoke earlier, we are not alone. I certainly felt. There were moments when I was in Quincy Public Schools where I felt like I did not belong, or whether I questioned if I fit in with the other kids or if my culture was understood. Now, this motion to approve Lunar New Year as a school holiday is actually an opportunity for you all to have a very high impact on the student body. Immediately, your yes vote is going to cause 40% of the student body to stand taller, walk a little prouder, because they are the reason why we are observing that school holiday. And that gives 60% of the other student population to have a deep appreciation for the peers that made this happen. And maybe a few years from now, maybe if we'll finally get a yes vote and we officially vote that this is a school holiday, there will be students that ask, why do we have no school on tomorrow? Well, it gives a chance to recognize that community who made it possible. That also the city is one who recognizes that community as part of its story and its strength and a major future asset to the city. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Hong Yi Chai. I live in 62 Campus Street. I have lived in Quincy since coming to United States in 2012. Now I'm a father of 2 children, and my children have attended Quincy Public Schools. I'm here today to support recognizing Lunar New Year as a school holiday. When I was in school in China, we have about 20 days Lunar Year holiday. But when I moved to US, especially in Quincy, I have 0 days. And as we know, for many Asian families, Lunar New Year is as important as Christmas, like to you guys. Right? If you have no off day for your Christmas day, how can you feel? So Quincy now is one of the largest Asian community in Massachusetts. Is that true? Right? So for us, it is more than just a holiday. I'm sorry, my broken English. It represents family reunion and cultural traditions, and an important opportunity for children to connect with their roots. Many children are growing up in America. They work hard to be part of this community, while also hoping their culture can be understood and respected. If school recognize Lunar New Year's, it will help many children feel that, oh, my culture is also part of this community. I believe that this is meaningful not only for Chinese families, but also as important step for Quincy as a diverse and welcoming community. It will help more families feel like welcome and respected, and also encourage greater understanding between different cultures. As a father, of course, I hope my children will succeed and do well in school.
10 seconds.
But I also hope that they grow up, they will not forget their culture and their background. So while also truly feeling that they belong here.
Thank you. You're at
Thank
time
you all,
now.
and take time to listen to this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Chair, and fellow school committee members. My name is Kai Lee from 42 Presidents Ave. I have 2 children in Quincy Public Schools, currently at Southwest Middle School, where I also serve as on the PTO board. I met all of you in the past year and have had conversations about the importance of Lunar New Year in our community. Tonight, I'm here to ask for your consideration on this again. I did not speak at the last school committee meeting, but did attend and saw the line of concerned and involved residents expressing their support for this to be recognized as a holiday. Tonight, there's also a huge line for that. Hopefully that's not the case, and I usually don't like to comment on rumors, but if there's a rule that is preventing this from passing, and by all means, I'm a rule follower, can I choose which rules to apply and which to not? I would implore the committee to explore ways to revise and update that rule so that it could be passed. Thank you for having these conversations with me, for your time and your leadership provided for our students and teachers.
Good evening. I'm a small business owner at 1145 Hancock Street, Wallam Kung Fu and Tai Chi Academy. I'm speaking for the Lunar New Year being recognized as a holiday. Have been a part of their effort with the community to get this become a practice, a respectful practice, so that students, Asian American students in Quincy, particularly that I'm sure we've heard all night that it is a big part of the community here. It's time that we recognize our neighbors, see our neighbors, respect our neighbors, and embrace our neighbors so that they can really be seen, heard, and respected. It is one of the largest holidays for many students. As a part of the community, I've been honored to go to almost every single school in Quincy to celebrate Lunar New Year during school hours, when the educators, the principals and their school leaders invite Wallam to come in to celebrate, as everybody has seen on Patriot Ledgers and various postings by the Quincy Public Schools. The teachers are celebrating, the students are grateful and embracing it. And why is it that the school committee not recognizing it? We're talking about thousands of students celebrating within classrooms. Why are we not doing it when the teachers are doing it already, when the principals are doing it, when the students are doing it? Why is it that the school committee, as leaders of the school district, not seeing this as a very important part of being able to feel that we can belong as Quincy neighbors, Quincy students, Quincy everyday person? We're just here to celebrate something that's important to us. So I can't say enough that it feels very erased that even the United States Postal Service has a stamp that recognizes Lunar New Year every single year, and this year, the year of the horse. There is a stamp that's designated to recognize Lunar New Year across the country. And here in Quincy, as the school committee body, we're still refusing to recognize it as a holiday. There is a disconnect here, and I really urge school committee leaders to really be with the pulse. Come on, like, let's get with it.
You're at 10 seconds.
I think the clap speaks for itself, that really we need to be more connected and be with the pulse. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, do we have anyone else for open forum? Open forum is now closed. Moving on with superintendent's report.
Thank you. Good evening again, everyone. Section B of the superintendent's report is the upcoming Quincy Public Schools and City of Quincy events. The Broadmeadows Middle School Drama Club is presenting the musical Murders in the Air on May 8th and 9th at 7 p.m. in the school auditorium. Tickets are available in advance on zeffy.com, that's ZEFFY.com, or at the door for each performance. Snug Harbor Community School's annual Touch a Truck event is being held on Saturday, May 9th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. The 5th Annual Quincy Multicultural Festival will be held at Faxon Field on Saturday, May 9th from noon to 3 p.m., showcasing the diverse cultures of our community through music, food, and art. In case of rain, the event will be held in the North Quincy High School gymnasium. Saturday, May 16th is going to be a busy day in Quincy with the annual grades 5 to 8 robotics competition being held at Quincy High School beginning at 10 a.m. The Montclair Elementary School will host the 90th annual May Festival from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The day will wrap up with the City of Quincy's classic rock concert from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Hancock Adams Common. The Quincy Public Schools physical education staff is hosting a community fitness night for students and parents in kindergarten through grades 5 on Monday, May 18th at 6 p.m. at Veterans Memorial Stadium. A parent academy for elementary school parents on improving literacy will be held on May 19th at 5 p.m. via Zoom. The link will be shared in this week's QPS Community Notices email. And lastly, at your places, school committee is a copy of the spring concert schedule for our elementary, middle, and high schools. A highlight of the school year, thanks to the music department staff, is also included. You'll also be sent calendar invitations so you can attend these events as your schedules permit. With that, that concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Superintendent. Okay. Next on the agenda, we have old business. We have the proposed revision of the school committee policy section 10.117, student personal electronic device policy. It is up for a roll call vote for tonight. Mrs. Cahill.
We discussed this policy about the using the new Yonder pouches for the students in the with their cell phones in schools. So we had the discussion, bringing it forward for a roll call vote. So make a motion to vote.
Okay. Motion by Mrs. Cahill to approve, second by Mr. Bergoli. Do we have any discussion on the motion? Mrs. Perdios. Thank you. If I can find that. Sorry, I have to find your name on this one.
That's all right. Thanks. I just had a quick question on this, and I'm not sure if maybe the superintendent or assistant superintendent may want to just comment. So if we approve this tonight, and this goes into effect the first day of school in the fall, is there a way that students specifically, families as well, but students specifically, can be told that this is coming in the spring, this spring, so that when they come to school in the fall, it's not a surprise for them? They understand what to expect and maybe have assemblies or things like that.
Absolutely, we will do all of that, definitely.
Okay, thank you. That was my only question.
Okay. Any other questions? Oh, Mr. Leung?
Thank you. If you could just clarify, are we proceeding with this vote not knowing the costs and how we're going to procure funds for the program?
So as we had discussed at the last presentation, we are working with partners to fund the Yonder pouches, but we also will be presenting in our budget as well an option for your consideration to fund all or part of, depending on the amount of support we get from our partners. But we are working with that.
Okay, so the first vote would be for the policy, and then
And
the
then
next part.
you would vote, it would be part of potentially the budget package as well that we're presenting to you.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. Superintendent, call the roll call vote.
Mr. Bergoli? Mrs. Cahill?
Yes.
Ms. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. Hubley?
Yes.
Mr. Leung? Yes. Mrs. Perdios? And Mayor Koch?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda, we have our 2026-2027 school committee meeting calendar. That was the calendar you received with all the dates and the topics next to. And Mrs. Cahill?
Just bring it, a motion to approve the school committee calendar for 26-27.
Okay, do you have a second by Mr. Bergoli? Okay, we have a first, we have a second. Any discussion? Yep, Mrs. Perdios?
Just in light of how many people came to speak tonight, I just want to make sure it's clear that what we're voting on right now is just our meeting schedule, and it's called a calendar as well, but it's the school committee meeting calendar, so it's just the list of meetings that we're going to have next year, not the calendar itself. So just wanted to clarify, because I get confused sometimes myself on that. Thank you.
Yes, this is a agenda, basically, for school committee that has items on it that we will be discussing at our school committee meetings. And like I said, we had a first, we had a second, no more discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Bergoli? Yes. Mrs. Cahill? Yes. Ms. Campbell? Mrs. Hubley?
Yes.
Mr. Leung? Yes. Mrs. Perdios? And Mayor Koch?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have the 2026-27 QPS school calendar. Mayor Koch?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Appreciate the attendance tonight and the input at open forum. And I think I'm in public on my stand in that position, but we are having a couple little challenges on how it's interpreted, and what I am suggesting tonight is we delay for 2 weeks. We're going to engage with our attorney that serves the school committee to make sure that we got our I's dotted and our T's crossed, to make sure that it's done properly. So I'd ask us at this time we could table it till the next meeting, at which time there'd be an executive session with our attorney to discuss these items. So.
Okay, so this will be postponed until our next meeting on May 20th. Okay, next item on the agenda is the proposed revision of the school committee policy, section 9.4, school day, which is basically just the change of moving the Tuesday to the Wednesday. Ms. Cahill?
Yes, we presented this in policy and to the school committee in one of the last meetings, and it's just a revision to update the policy with current Tuesday to Wednesday half-a-days.
Okay,
So, motion to...
Making a motion?
Motion to send it to a vote.
Okay, motion by Mrs. Cahill, second by Ms. Campbell. Any discussion? Seeing none, we have a roll call vote.
Mr. Bergoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Cahill?
Yes.
Ms. Campbell? Mrs. Hubley?
Yes.
Mr. Leung? Yes. Mrs. Perdios? And Mayor Koch?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Next on the agenda, we have new business. This is fiscal year 2027, City of Quincy budget overview. Mayor Koch.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As many of you know, some of you were at the school committee meeting on Monday night when we presented the annual fiscal budget to the City Council for review and passage. As we know, the City Council will undergo a number of Finance Committee meetings, then discuss the various departments and their asks. It's a stable budget. There's no new jobs, no new positions, no new programs. There are increases in the budget, contractual increases, raises, health insurance is up, rubbish removal and disposal is up, electricity is up. So those other areas, our fleet fuel, we're coming on the back end of a contract. We got $2.40 a gallon. That's not going to happen right now. So there's those fixed costs that we have really not a whole lot of control over. The school budget itself is just under $149 million. And just for clarification for the public, that does not include what we'll talk about in a few minutes, the outside grants that come in from the federal government, the state, both competitive grants as well as entitlement grants. That's another $8 million or so. The budget is fully funded from what we've seen this year. We've had brief discussions with the superintendent and, of course, our new business manager, Adam, been part of those discussions, making sure that we get everything included, make sure we get the numbers right. So I look forward to discussion with the committee. I know we'll have a public input session, I'm sure, like we normally do. The city budget overall is stable. I still have some disagreement with folks on how they interpret the debt service, and I think it's worthy of repeating. There's 3 categories in our debt service. Well, there's long-term and short-term, but then there's 3 categories and how we break it out. One is our pension obligation bond, which we did a few years back. Again, I know many of you know all this, but I think it's important for the public to fully understand that issue, that the city of Quincy's retirement system was only 43% funded, and by 2039, it has to be fully funded under state law. There's no option here. Pension obligation bond speaks of the obligation. It is our obligation. And so on this side of the ledger, we had an unfunded liability of $475 million. We get knocked on that every year from our outside bond people, financial advisors, and we, as you all know, we were experiencing extremely low, historic low interest rates. The city council a number of years ago actually authorized the city to move forward with this when the time was right. Senator John Keenan, city councilor at the time, was a pusher on that. Well, the time was right. We got 2.62% interest on this. Now, there's a graph in here that shows, had we not done this, the increase each year we would have to pay to the pension system would be far greater, somewhere between $100 and $180 million that would have to come up with. And that would compete in our regular budget with what we're talking about here tonight. The school budget, police, fire, and all the other budgets. So that's a piece that we had an unfunded liability. We moved to the debt side. Part 2, the district improvement financing for the downtown. We have spent serious monies on the downtown. And as a result of that, there's been hundreds of millions of dollars in investment in the downtown. This is a true story. A gentleman came to see me today unannounced. He stopped by about 4 o'clock to see if he could see me. And I accommodated him. He took 4 buses to get here from Stoughton. And he gave me a postcard of a trolley car on Adams Street. What he said to me, he says, I remember as a kid what the city's downtown was, and I remember what it was 20 years ago. And these are his words. He says it was a dump. And he said, I'm here to say great job on the city and the downtown, and I'm not saying this for my benefit here, but it's a reality we had in downtown that we weren't very proud of. Today, we're very proud of that downtown. So the DIF funding, the District Improvement Financing Funding, has funded the Kilroy Square, the Kilroy Garage, in part a number of the infrastructure projects around the General's Park, the General's Bridge, along with state and federal monies. We always leverage federal and state dollars when we can, when it's available. And today we are seeing come out of the ground literally a transformation, providing much needed housing, provided a lot of opportunity for people with restaurants and bar rooms, and hopefully we'll see some more boutique retail going forward, but that's a whole nother animal with Amazon days. Providing jobs, hundreds of construction jobs, thousands of construction jobs over the term of this. So at the end of the day, it will produce additional taxes that will exceed the DIF someday that we're collecting today. So that's part 2. Part 3, more relevant to why we're here, is that other debt that we incur when we do special projects like schools. We're in the middle right now, as you all know, of a new Squantum Elementary School that's being built. And you also know we work with the School Building Authority, and we obviously get reimbursed a number of these projects. The values are different. I think we're in the vicinity of 63% reimbursement on the Squantum School. But so the debt for those new schools that we've added over the last few years is in that third piece, along with other infrastructure. That could include seawalls, for example, public safety headquarters, and other improvements to buildings. As we know, not only do we do new schools, but we've done roofs, boilers, windows, all kinds of improvements to all our city buildings. So that's how the debt breaks out. Again, I like to use the opportunity to get the facts out to people on this issue. There's a lot of cities and towns around us that are making cuts in schools right now. They're making cuts on the city side budgets because we've reached a point, and this is I think, an important issue that's going to come up more frequently going forward. If you look at Proposition 2.5 overrides, they're frequent, but they used to be for special projects, for schools, seawalls, firehouse, library. Now, most of the Prop 2.5 overrides are being used to just fund the operational budget, and that's a real problem. 2.5 has not kept up with inflation. Local aid has not kept up with inflation. So this is going to become more and more of a challenge, I think, going forward. And I'm concerned about two ballot questions that also will have an effect on this. One is if it gets on the ballot, the income tax reduction. Well, you know what's going to happen. Local aid is going to be reduced if that happens, because they're not going to have the revenue at the state level. There's also a question about rent control on the ballot. It sounds great. Tufts University did an incredible study on this. And it basically shows that over time, the values of these properties are going to be reduced, and cities and towns are going to collect less property tax money. So there's some stuff on the horizon that concerns me going forward that's going to need some good discussion, hopefully leaders at the state level as well as the local cities and towns. But having said that, we have a solid budget here that we're presenting here tonight. I know we're going to have some budget committee meetings on it, and we'll talk about the priorities and what we got coming. But I'm proud of where we're at, and I look forward to further discussing this with my colleagues here in the school committee. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for this. So I'm just, it's the first time I've seen this book, excuse me, but just a quick kind of perusal here through it. I don't see the school budget.
Yeah, so what you have tonight is...
This is the great city budget, right. And I know we're in the right room for
What the city
that.
council gets is what you see.
Okay.
They don't get the breakdown. They can only vote on the bottom line. Now, when the school department presents to the city council, then they will share the breakdown. But I know the superintendent's team will present us with some options in the upcoming budget meetings, so.
That's what I was going to ask, when...
I only just shared this so you get a picture of the entirety of the city, what's going on. So.
I got you. I just wanted to make sure for the people watching at home that they don't think that we're looking at the school budget.
Mm-hmm.
And just a timeline for that, that's coming obviously in the next couple weeks, right?
It'll be most likely, I think, the first week in June. Is that when
May 20th.
Oh, I'm sorry.
May 20th meeting?
May 20th.
May
May 20th.
May 20th, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda, we have fiscal year 26 third quarter budget review. I have Mr. Adam Conlon to come to the open forum mic.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to be with you for the first time. I'll go ahead and provide a high-level overview of where we stand financially as of the third quarter, March 31st. Overall, the district remains in stable and positive financial position at this point and throughout the rest of this fiscal year. As a general overview, the fiscal year 26 budget of $146,734,627 had an increase of $4,198,160 over the previous year's budget, making this another budget building year. The mayor's appropriation was $138,384,627, or a 3.13% increase. Projected circuit breaker funding was budgeted at $8.35 million, which was a $1 million increase over the previous fiscal year. As Jim had mentioned in the previous several meetings, we're actually going to be receiving $10.35 million, which is $2 million over budgeted for circuit breaker, which is greatly beneficial for offsetting the special ed tuition cost. So what you should have in front of you is a breakout of the salaries and then the expenses. Starting with the salaries, which make up the majority of our budget, we're currently projecting a favorable position. This is largely due to what we refer to as salary breakage. In simple terms, when a tenured staff retires at a higher salary, then they're replaced with someone maybe with less years of experience. That difference in salary creates natural savings for us within the budget. This is variable every year and determined by the number of retirements, so it can be hard to predict. Nonetheless, we're benefiting from it this year. Longevity currently holds a small negative balance. The QEA contract had an increase of longevity cost of $277,100 for academic classroom teachers, academic program teachers, and academic support teachers, and this will be offset by that breakage mentioned previously. For academic support, there are a few here where we're projecting slight negative balances, and I'll go ahead and provide explanations on those specifically. Directors, this is due to the retiring director, Allison Cox, and retiring director of business, Jim Mullaney. Jim stayed on, helped train me, and really appreciate him doing that. He's been super helpful in this transition. He didn't have to stick around and help me out as much as he has, and I really appreciate it. He's always been a call away. Department heads, there were 2 employees that were previously paid from a grant, and I believe a couple quarters ago we were told that they're no longer to be paid from said grant, so we've been paying them out of the salary line. For paraprofessionals, this is the special education costs, and there were some students that required one-on-one that were not additionally budgeted for that were new to the district. Part-time professional, this is due to important programs such as the after-school and credit recovery program. Under non-academic support, paraprofessionals are slightly high here similarly, and this is because we have about 10 bus monitors budgeted, but we only have about 3 that are active right now, so we're having to use the paraprofessionals as bus monitors, so paying them at the para rate. Overtime is slightly negative due to a lot of the work done, great work done in the schools that's required for the use of the custodial staff. For example, as mentioned, the Squantum School. For expenses, we're always focusing closely on special education tuition. This category can fluctuate year to year depending on student needs and placements, so some level of variability is expected. The second area is utilities, which are also running higher than anticipated for this year, specifically electric. These costs are driven largely by external factors such as rates of the kilowatt hour and usages. We're anticipating higher energy costs in the future years as well due to macroeconomic factors. Importantly, as of this year, both of these pressures are effectively being offset between that circuit breaker and also that salary breakage. Between now and the end of the year, we'll continue to closely monitor spending across all schools and make adjustments as needed to maintain this stability while we go into the new fiscal year. And I'm happy to answer any questions anyone has.
Any questions from my colleagues? Mrs. Cahill.
Adam, when we work on the budget during the year, sure. And from my perspective, seeing other school districts having budget issues and things like that, and I'm always concerned about, how does it end up happening? All of a sudden, towards the end of the year, they're millions of dollars short.
Right.
What do we do in our system to make sure that we're kind of monitoring where we are in the budget and making sure we're not going to be in trouble at the end of the year?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think some of the processes that were in place when I joined to make that really easy, we have a weekly meeting with the leadership team, Superintendent Mulvey, Dr. Perkins, and as well as Joe Poulin. We meet every single week, and basically what we do is Munis is the software that has all the transactions, and we export a year-to-date budget report, and it basically shows everything that's been expend through that exact day, and it also gives us percentages of remaining. Mm-hmm. So we can basically look at that, and I also look at the previous week's report, and it breaks it out every single line. We can see every single expense, and as well, every single expense or cost goes through the business office. It has to be approved. There's a lot of levels of checks and balances, so if there's something came in, anything that comes in, I guess basically week over week, we would see. So it helps, those meetings every week are a big deal to see everything.
Be able to monitor where we are and if we
Yeah,
have to make any
exactly.
adjustments. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Mr. Leon?
Thank you, Mr. Conlon. Can you please help me better understand the deficits? I know you went through some of the examples and your description of why there was one for directors. That makes sense with Mr. Mullaney staying on. But, something like AIDS.
Yep.
Can you just help me understand how that was not anticipated?
Definitely. I think that ties along with the special ed tuitions as well. So say there's a student that comes in from another district, and then we're forced to take on that tuition, that student might also need an aide, a one-on-one. So then we would have to take on that cost as well that wasn't previously budgeted for.
Okay, so the aides that you had planned for, they were already with their maximum number of students?
Yeah, so maybe Dr. Perkins, you want to?
Yeah, so when we have a set amount of aides in the budget, and so those positions are typically already filled at the start of the school year, and so then, as the year progresses, it could be a student, like Mr. Conlon said, that moves in. It could be a student that is having a really difficult time, that wasn't maybe previously having a really difficult time, that the educator needs support in their classroom. And, for potentially for safety reasons, for lots of different reasons, we have to add a paraprofessional. And so sometimes that happens throughout the year. And so that would be unanticipated costs. And then as Mr. Conlon mentioned, we have a shortage of bus monitors right now. And so one of the things in order to remedy that, because students have monitors written into their individual education plans, and they cannot be transported without them. So in order to remedy that, we are paying quite a few paraprofessionals to ride the buses and serve as the one-to-one monitor. Obviously, we would love more monitors, but it is kind of a best-case scenario to fix the situation because the paras do know the students.
Right.
They know what works behaviorally during the day, and they know, how to make it a less eventful bus ride home. And so, so those are kind of the things that we didn't anticipate, or potentially a student needs a paraprofessional to attend an after-school program. We are inclusive in our special education programs. Our kids are able to do every single after-school program that any other student in the district is able to do. And so we do provide paraprofessional support for that when students want to attend.
Okay, great, thank you.
Anyone else?
Motion to approve.
Yep. So I need a motion to approve the budget review by Mayor Koch, second by Ms. Cahill. I need a roll call vote. Superintendent?
Mr. Begoli? Yes. Mrs. Cahill? Yes. Ms. Campbell? Mrs. Hubley?
Yes.
Mr. Leung? Yes. Mrs. Perdios? Yes. And Mayor Koch?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Adam.
Okay, next on the agenda is QPS fiscal year 2026 grant booklet for review to Budget, Finance, and Audit Subcommittee. Mayor Koch?
You have in your packet, included in your packet, this will be helpful going forward as we go into our budget deliberations. These are the extras beyond the municipal budget. As I mentioned, some of these are federal grants, state grants, foundations. Some of them are entitlements, some of them are competitive. And we have a great staff, I know, that works hard on seeking additional funds to help the system. So that's all I got.
Okay, so moved. Next on the agenda, we have proposed revision to the school committee policy book, section 9.2 school year.
Madam
school
Chair?
calendar.
I'd also
Mayor
like
Koch?
to put this place this on the table as we have that discussion next meeting.
Okay, so moved. All right, next we have the consent agenda. This is a roll call vote, and I need a motion and a second, and any discussion. Okay, make a motion by Ms. Cahill, second by Mr. Bergoli. Any discussion? Seeing none.
Mr. Begoli? Yes. Mrs. Cahill? Yes. Ms. Campbell? Yes. Mrs. Hubley.
Yes.
Mr. Leung.
Yes.
Mrs. Perdios. Yes. And Mayor Koch.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oops, sorry.
Sorry, still have John. Okay, next on the agenda is additional business. Seeing none, then we have communications. We have upcoming school committee meetings at the Connington Building at 6:30 on both May 20th and June 10th. Reports of subcommittees, we have none at this time, and we will be going into executive session for contract negotiations. And Mayor Koch.
Go into executive session for the purpose of contract negotiations with the caveat that we will not be returning to regular session.
Okay, I have a first, do I have a second by Ms. Cahill? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Bergoli? Mrs. Cahill? Ms. Campbell? Mrs. Hubley?
Yes.
Mr. Leung? Yes. Mrs. Perdios?
Yes.
And Mayor Koch.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
everybody.
I have a motion to adjourn. Motion by Ms. Cahill, second. All in favor. Have a great night. Thank you so much.